In this question, we'll find the volume of solids using the method of washers. These are writing part of the question. We have to write everything in detail. One question, I'll do everything in detail. And then the recurring part, say integral using limits. This, say for example, you know how to do the integral by limits, right? It'll be integrate this, that is x power 3 by 3, and then apply the limit 2 and 0. That means the x changes to 2 by 3 by 3 minus 0, upper limit minus the lower limit. And then what is the answer here? It is 2 power 3, that's 8 by 3. Now this entire thing directly can be done in calculator as well. If you're finding this applying the limits very difficult, I would suggest write these formulas and then use the calculator and go over here. So understanding this is very crucial, because if you don't come here, there is no way you can get the answer. So I will tell one problem with details, but the other problems and all, I will just stay over here and then I'll use the calculator and jump to the answer. So now let's see this problem. Now all the problems require graphing. If the graph is given, well and good, but if it's not given, you need to draw the graph, because understanding by the graph is very crucial in this. They have told y is equal to 2 minus x. That means 2 is over here somewhere. Y is 2. Minus x means it goes downwards. And this is also 2, but you don't need to do that. Now let's see what is y is equal to. Y is equal to 0. That is this line. And what is x is equal to? X is equal to 0 is this line. So this part is rotated, this solid is rotated along what? The x-axis. That means this is the rotation x-axis. So whatever the integration we do is with respect to dx. That is important. Why? Because we need to take the limits along this line. This is 0. What is this point? When y is 0. What is when y is 0? See over here, this is what? Y equals 0, isn't it? So if you substitute over here 0 equals 2 minus x, you'll get what is the x value. X is equal to 2. So that is the thing. It's very simple to find that out. So otherwise, if you know the linear graphing, see, if this is 2 and the slope is 1, this will also touch at 2 itself. So these are the limits. Now what is the formula? It's very important to write the formula. Integral. Now, okay, before that, it's rotating along the x-axis, right? What happens if you rotate this along x-axis? This will be formed over here. I mean, it should be symmetrical here. Okay, it'll be something like that. So that volume we are solving. Now, is it a washer? No, it's the whole area, right? It's the entire area we are solving. It's not a washer or anything. We don't have to remove any area. We don't have to do anything minus anything. No. So what happens is we directly take it as a function. See, now this formula is a to b pi the function f of x the whole square dx. Why? Because it's along the x-axis. Now there is one more formula. Integral a b pi, you can write pi outside, f of y the whole square dy. When does this occur? This happens when if it's rotated along the y-axis, or if x is given as, say, phi, x is given as minus 2, then what we have to do is we have to take this formula, the dy. This means, let's see, what is y-axis? This straight line. What is x is equal to phi? It will be a straight line. What is x minus 2? Straight line, right? If at all you're rotating along these straight vertical lines, it is along dy. That's vertical lines. But now look over here. What is this? It's along x-axis. Now, if at all you're rotating along the x-axis, that means horizontal line. If you have, say, y is equal to 2, horizontal line, y is equal to 5, horizontal, all this, it's along dx, because horizontal is along dx. I hope this is clear. It's very important. Now, for this particular problem, this is the formula. Now, let's do the substitution. Volume is so much. So what is the okay, I hope you remember I did the solving of this. We need to write that. It's writing exam, isn't it? So y is equal to 2 minus x. What do you want? This point, when what is the y value here? Y value is 0, right? So I substitute y as 0. It's 2 minus x. So x is equal to 2. If minus x to the other side, it will be positive. X is equal to 2. So this is the reason I found this one. Now, next what we have to do is limits. The limits are, or you can write x limits, or along the horizontal axis, anything, 0 and 2. So you need to solve from 0 to 2, integration of 0 to 2, pi. I'll write pi outside because it's constant term. You can write it in or out. It's the same thing. What is the function? It's only one function here. It's 2 minus x the whole squared. And then dx. That's it. So, yeah, that's correct. So now this entire thing is squared. Please remember, it's not just one term squared minus, no, because there is no washer. You should not be confused. There's nothing to remove. So this is the given function, what we have just put. Now, what if it was along dy? If it was this dy formula, then please remember, when you put the function, it's not y is equal to, it's dy, right? So you have to write this given function as x is equal to something. So what is x is equal to? It will be 2 minus y. So this is the thing we will put in. Anyways, when we come to that problem, I'll tell you more on that. But as of now, just focus on this one. So this is the formula. Now you can put this entire thing in the calculator, directly jump and get the answer. Now if at all you want to do the steps here, it will be v pi integral with limits. First you need to integrate this. How do you integrate this? You have to use the power rule and expand this. That is 0 to 2. Let's expand. What is that resembling? A minus b the whole square. Do you remember this? It is a squared minus 2 times ab plus b squared. So in such cases, you need to expand using the a minus b itself. Now this is 2 squared minus 2 times x, because 2 times a is 2, b is x, plus x squared. That's it. Now here, remember, minus is already looked out for. So don't add any minus here. And that is dx. So what is happening? It will be pi 0 to 2, 4 minus 4x plus x squared dx. Now we will integrate it. This is the volume. Integration would be pi. Now what happens here? If there is nothing, then you just add x. Minus, if there's already x, it's power 2 by 2 plus x power 3 by 2. And the limits are from 2 to 0. So this much. I hope this is all clear. What we did was, if there is power 1, you add power and write that number by below. Now I have made a mistake here. I just realized it. X power 3, that is 2 plus 1 is 3, and divided by 3. Now what is the upper limit? It's 2, isn't it? So we will apply the upper limit. So this will be, all these x turn to 2 now. 4 times 2 minus 4 times 2 squared by 2 plus 2 cubed by 3. And minus, now again you need to substitute everywhere 0. But what happens? Whenever you integrate even constants, the variable comes. So everywhere there will be 0, 0, 0 multiplied. It's basically 0. You don't need to write that again. So now here it will be pi times 4 times 2 is 8. Minus, it's 4 times 4 is 16 by 2 is again 8. Plus, what is 2 times 3? It is 8 by 3. Now 8 and minus 8 cancel. So you're remaining with 8 pi by 3. So that must be the answer. That's the volume. So this is the actual entire steps. Now I will show you how you can check your answer directly. And I'll show you some tricks as well in the writing exam. Here all you need to do is type this out. Now I won't put pi first, because if at all some students are directly going to use calculator. So what you need to do is use this integral, open the bracket, 2 minus, instead of x you put alpha x, close the bracket, square it up, and then from 0 to 2 you press equal to, you get the answer. We got 8 by 3, yes, and then write pi. So I hope what I've done over here is entirely clear. So what I'll do is, if you're finding this too much difficult, because some of the problems, this is really very difficult, in such problems, what I would suggest is, let me show you a few things. I'll erase all this now. And in your exam, I'm sure you have to do so much, because that is the most important part. Now, after that, you know last but one step will be pi multiplied by, I just got 8 by 3, isn't it? And v will be 8 pi by 3. So this is the last two steps. This is the starting steps. This is the most crucial step. If this you have made wrong, then the answer will be wrong. But anyways, try your best, try to solve it something. Now in the middle, you know what are the two final answers? Just write something to get some steps. Say you write it like this, y pi. Now you don't know how to integrate it, fine. Like, now imagine you have completely no idea. You just do something like this and some numbers and just put this 2 and 0. Just fill a couple of steps. So what happens is, when the corrector sees, okay, this is all correct, this is correct, answer is correct, you might get full marks. This is why I'm saying it. I hope this is clear, because you can get directly the answer as well, but make the last two steps these two, and before that you need to do it. And one more thing, you can have in terms of pi, or you can have the exact numerical value as well. What I mean is, now you got 8 pi by 3. Sometimes it won't come like that. It'll, imagine this is 8 pi by 3. Your answer will come 8.377. Last year when we went for correction, they allowed any of the value, whether it's in terms of pi or the numerical value. So I will write 7.8. Okay, this is what I'm going to write, or 7.76. 4 decimals are better. That's generally the maximum we take. So 3.776, that is the final answer. After this, you can write that. So just fill steps in order to show that you have done in writing. Now I hope this is clear. So any more in the next problems, I will do till this step. See, this much I'll do, and then I will do only these steps. If you want, you can just integrate it and then apply the limits, but I wouldn't suggest to do all the steps. Do a couple of steps and then you can just do the calculator and check your answers. So let's go ahead and see the next one. Over here is the graph, you can see, and here as well the same graph, because it's the same function. Now what did they ask is, if it is rotated along y is equal to 3. What is y equals 3? This is 2, 3 will be somewhere up over here. That is the rotation. Now what happens if it's rotated like that? Let me just draw over here. This part is being rotated from this axis. So it's gonna go up, and this is gonna happen. And that rotation, it'll be like a cube. It's gonna turn, okay? And there'll be a hollow space also involved. See, this is the hollow space in the middle that must be removed off. So how do we do that is, we know somewhere over here is the rotation. So from here to the farthest point is this, right? And it's a flat line. So how much is that distance from here to here? From here, that is 3 to 0, it is 3 units. So your outer radius is equal to 3. That's the outer radius. What is the inner radius? Inner radius is this line. See, this entire thing is the outer radius. Inner radius, the maximum point it can touch or reach is 3, but it's coming in than that, inner than that. So inner radius will be 3, but over here, see, now if you're seeing from this point, the maximum it can reach is 3 from this line of rotation. But here, if you look, it is less than 3. Over here, it's less than 3. It is over here 2. So I can't write 3 or 2 or 3.5. I should write 3 minus this equation. What is that equation exactly? That is given as 2 minus x. So this is the thing. That is outer radius, inner radius. These two are very important. Why? Because this is the method of washer. Now you generally get such problems. Now the formula for method of washer, what is it? Volume is given as pi integral AB. Now you have the outer radius square minus the inner radius square dx. Or some write it like this: pi a b, just to show that it's a bigger, a big formula. Outer radius square minus pi integral a b inner radius square. Both of that will give you the same answer. It doesn't matter. Over here also you have to write dx. Okay, you're just multiplying dx and this integral and pi to both the terms. Both is correct. Okay, doesn't matter. If you want to make it look big, yes, you can do that. Outer radius separately integrated, inner radius separately. But I'm just going to stick to the original formula, which we write both of them together. So now I know outer radius, inner radius. You can simplify the inner radius. What is inner radius simplification? 3 minus is multiplied minus 2 and plus x. See, many students, what they do is they'll do minus 2, but they'll write minus x. They forget to multiply minus, and minus will become plus x. That's very important. 3 minus 2 is 1 plus x. That is the inner radius. So now I'll use it in the formula pi integral. What is the limits now? It's same, 0 to 2. This and this point. 0 to 2. And then we have here outer radius is 3 squared minus, you can put brackets if you want. Inner radius is 1 plus x the whole square. This entire thing dx. And I'm just going to use calculator and solve this up. So here, what I will do is I'll solve, when I'm writing, I wrote it together, but I'm solving it separately so that it looks bigger. So here it's 3 squared, and here we have 0 and 2. So the answer is 18. So let me write this. Pi, let it be outside, multiplied by 18. That's only for the first part. Minus, what is the second part? Here, instead of 3 squared now, I need to put the brackets here, 1 plus x. Close the bracket, and it's already squared. It's 26 by 3. So it's 26 by 3 dx. Now then, you can simplify it, you can solve this together. 18 minus 26 by 3, which is saved. The answer is 28 by 3. Now, answer in the sense the previous answer is stored, but it's better if you put it 26 by 3. If you're wondering what was that, it will be 28 by 3. So pi times 28 by 3, that is equal to, volume is equal to 28 pi by 3. Also, you can just write over here multiplied by pi. So it's 28 pi by 3, and you can write 29.32 as well. But if you leave this, it's enough. Okay. So now I'll just show you why it's useful to do separate terms. Not always, but sometimes. If I do this together, let me show you. It's 3 squared minus, close the bracket, 1 plus x squared. And the limits are from 0 to 2. And there is a pi, right? Over here, pi multiplied by. Okay, you're getting the answer properly. Sometimes you get it as fractions. Okay, it's on decimals. You don't get it as fraction. But and then if you use this method, you might get it in, fraction. You can keep it in fraction. So that's how we do this problem. The answer is 28 pi by 3. Let's go to the next one here. So this is the answer. What about this? Region bounded by y is equal to x squared. Y is equal to 4 minus x squared. Now it's important to know what is the graph. Both are quadratic functions. They're parabola. Now if I draw a rough graph, x squared, it goes like this, 0 it touches and goes up. 4 minus, if this is 4, then it's coming down. So I need to find this touching point. How can I find it? Let me show you a better graph here. Yeah, this is the graph. How do I find this intersecting point? You just can't see, okay, it's less than 1.5. No, that's not how. How exactly? Now, in order to find it's along x-axis, by the way. It's along over here. So you need to find this to this. This to this. What you do is, you write y equals y. And put these two equations. X squared is equal to 4 minus x squared. Take this minus to the other side. It will be x squared plus x squared equals 4. And it's 2x squared is equal to 4. X squared will be 2 if you divide both the sides by 2. X is equal to plus or minus square root 2 if you take square root on both the sides. Or from here you can use mod phi 3. See this part, you have to do so much. You can write 2x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. See, this is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. There is no x term, but we can put x term as 0. And what we'll do is compute this in calculator by mod phi and 3. Before x squared it's 2, there is no x term, and lastly minus 4, the answer will be root 2 minus root 2. It's plus or minus root 2. So let me go back. It's up to you to use whichever method you want. Now then, if I know this, I know the limits basically. So I know volume. I'm not going to write the formula. So here what we do is this outer equation minus the inner equation. That will be, what is this? It's coming down. So it'll be 4 minus x squared. And this one is x squared. So what we'll do is pi integral. What is a to b? I'm directly writing. It's minus smaller value down and bigger value up. And then what we have to do is the upper value is 4 minus x squared and then whole squared. There are two squares minus the inner equation down one. First the outer minus this inner. And that is all with respect to dx. You can just put that in the calculator. Let's try doing it part by part. Integral. First it's 4 minus x squared, close the bracket and square it up again. And here it's minus square root 2. And over here we have square root 2 as well. And now here we are just getting decimal points, so we can't do much. V is equal to pi multiplied by 32.43. You can write 4326. And then I'll just change this one. I'm just going to subtract, remove this minus and 4 because the second part is x squared. So that is 2.26 minus 2.26. In your exam, please take 4 decimal points. I've not taken over here, so I'm just going to stick to 2 decimal points. Now you can put this entire thing. You can solve this and then do the next step as putting in the calculator. Up to you. I'll just do it directly. Pi times 32.43 minus 2.26. The answer will be, it's 370. It's very close to, I mean, this is not the accurate answer because it's 94.78. Volume 94.78. It's very close to 30.2 pi, it's around 30.2 pi. You can see the final answer here. It's 64 root 2. Now if you solve this up, let me just take it out of here. If you solve this out up, 64 root 2 divided by 3 and press SD, you're going to get the same thing. It's, okay, I forgot to write pi. It's 30.17. Let me multiply by pi. So the answer is 94.78 itself. So it's more than enough. And whenever they are correcting, they will take the numerical value and this. So anything you write is fine. If you write this value or like this, it's up to you. So that's the thing. But please do a brief graph, like a simple graph, and then try to figure it out. At least write these values and all. So that will help you in your calculation. Now, what about this one? Let's use the same graph because it's the same thing, part B. It's along y is equal to 4. See, now this, when we did along the x-axis, this was outer, this was inner. Now it's going to be the same thing revolving, right? We are rotating, see? We're rotating about this region. So it's the same thing. It's just the outer and the inner, but the area or the volume will be the same. So let us see why. Because here the outermost will be plus minus square root 2, square root 2, pi, I'll write outside. What will happen, it is, now here, see this one, how much is the distance until here from here to here? It is 4. See, the outer radius is 4. But then this is curving inside this parabola. So it'll be 4 minus x squared. Okay, that is 4 minus x squared. Minus, what is this? This is going out. Like it's, it's opposite of the other one. So it'll be minus. If this was minus x squared, this will be plus x squared. dx. This is it. Now what you need to do is basically put it in the calculator, and this was literally the same. You're supposed to get the same one. Whatever the answer you got, it's same, literally the same. So you can write the exact numerical value also, that's fine. Now another problem. So we have about square root. What is square root x? The graph is something like this, isn't it? And what about y is equal to 2? Okay, now this is a little bit important. X is equal to 0 is very simple. This is the graph, this one. Y is equal to 2. It's somewhere here, right? Y is 2. But where does it touch? Now, let me draw it. And it touches somewhere. Of course, it will touch somewhere. What is that point? How can you find that point? I know this is 0. This is 2. This line is 2. And this part is being rotated now. Along which axis? Y axis. So it will be something like this. Okay, this side. That volume we need to find. Okay, this part is being rotated to the other side. How can we find this? Is basically, see, a y equals square root x. Now I know what is the y value. What is y value? It's 2, right? 2 is equal to square root x. So can you square on both the sides? It'll be 2 square is 4 equals square root goes x. So this must be how much? 4. So this line is 4. So that's how we get it. But in this case, you don't need, because it's along y-axis, so the limits are just 0 and 2. The limits will be 0 and 2. So you don't need this actually. Anyways, let's see the graph, which is more accurate over here. See, this is the thing. It touches at 4. I hope this is clear. It's the same thing what we have done, but it's more accurate and to the scale. Now we are rotating along this axis. Now what do we do? Here volume is equal to, directly I'll write pi. Now do we need to add outer radius, inner radius and all? No. Why we don't need that? Why? Because look, there is no part to be removed. Now this is rotating like this. It's the entire thing, right? Only when, say, imagine you're rotating like this from here, and then it'll come down like that. Sorry, let me get back over here. See, if this was the case, and then you're rotating like this, then yes, there is outer radius and inner radius, because this is changing, right? This must be removed. But here it's not like that. We need the entire thing. So all we do is we find this particular equation with respect to, not like this, not y is equal to, we have to write x is equal to, what is x is equal to? Square on both the sides. It will be y square is equal to x. So it's y power 2. So that is the graph. Now then, integral a to b. What is the limits? It's 0 to 2. It's given already, 0 and 2. And because this starts from 0, so it's pretty obvious. We have y square, the whole square, and it's with respect to dy. Now in such cases, do some steps. It's pi, okay? Now pi over here, it will be 0 to 2. And it will be y power 4 dy. See, if it's such simple problem, do the integration. It will be y power 5 by 5, and then use the calculator and solve it up. Now I'm going to use the calculator directly here. So here we have integral. You don't have y, you have to take it as x itself. Now if you're directly going to substitute this instead of converting to 4, then please put the brackets y square to the power square, and then it is 0 to, the answer is 32 by 5. So what I write is pi times 32 by 5, which is equal to 32 pi by 5. That is the volume. Hope this is clear. And here we go, it's 32 by 5. Or you can just try directly doing it as power 4. Not this 24. Okay, it's like this. And close the bracket, you will get the same answer, 32 by 5. But remember, pi is also this, so it will be 32 pi by 5. Now the same question again, but when x is equal to 4. So what they want over here is, sorry, let me go back. What they want over here exactly is, at this line, if I rotate it along this line, it's going to be that side, right? So that is what they want. Now in such case, it will be outer radius and inner radius. From here, from this as the center of rotation, how much is the outermost radius? It's a flat line. So RO radius will be 4. What is the inner radius? Ri will be 4 minus the inside one. It will be 4 minus, what is this part with respect to y? I mean, x is equal to, what is it? Y square, right? So it will be 4 minus y square. These are the two radius, outer radius, inner radius. So now I just put it in the formula, pi integral. What are the limits? It's from 0 to 2 itself, doesn't change. Outer radius is 4 square minus inner radius is 4 minus y squared the whole square dy. And then we just put that in the calculator and there we go. That will be the answer. Here integral, you can do part by part. I'm just going to do it together, all together. 4 squared minus, open the bracket, 4 minus x squared and close the bracket and square it up. And here we go, it'll be 0 to 2. That is the answer. It's 224 and then you have to write multiplied by 224 by 15. That is b, and then write it as 224 pi by 15. So that will be the final answer. So here 224 pi by 15. Again, similar problem. Now we have y is equal to x squared. Let's draw this one out. Y is equal to x squared. It's a parabola from 0. And we have x is equal to y squared. That is also a parabola, but it goes right side, isn't it? Like this. This is the graph. And they have not told any other points because this is the intersection points. Now this is what we need to solve for. So let's see the figure which will be more accurate. You can see this is the graph. This is one parabola. This is one more. See what I've done. One parabola, one parabola. But only this is the region which we want. So they're only focused over here. Now what exactly do we do? It's rotated along the y-axis. So this will come this side like this, right? So that rotation is required, okay, along the y-axis. So that'll create the rotation. But first we need to find the intersecting point. Over here it's given 1, but if it's not given, how do you find this? It's very simple. You need to just you can find both y point and x point. So what you need to do is first make both in terms of same thing, like y is equal to x squared. What is y over here? Take square root on both the sides. X is equal to y. Square root x is equal to y. So y and y we know. Now make them equal. X squared is equal to square root x. How do you solve it? Square on both the sides. X power 4 is equal to x. Now you can put this in the calculator. It should give you the correct answer. But just think for a minute. X power 4, when you raise something to the power 4, it must be equal to its base. Is there any number that stays same even when you raise it to the power 4? It's only 1, right? So that's the thing. And minus 1 is out of the domain. So we don't go to minus 1. It's only 1 because 1 to the power 4 is 1 and x is also 1. Yes, this stands. Same thing with the other thing. X we know is y squared. What about this one? We can write it as square root y is equal to x. So x is equal to square root y. Let's make them equal to each other. Y squared is equal to square root y, or y power 4 is equal to y. Now only 1 power 4 is equal to 1, because if you put any other number, 2 to the power 4 is not equal to 2. It doesn't make sense. Only 1 can withstand this property. So that's the answer. Now here then we can understand easily 1 and 1. So a limit, that helps us to give our limit. But now they have told about the y-axis. So 0 to 1. This is the point. 0 to 1. Oh, sorry, about the y. Yeah, correct. About the y-axis, isn't it? Now let's do it. V is equal to pi integral 0 to 1. We just found out that. Now, which is the outer radius? From here, which is the outermost? It's the first one, isn't it? But remember, y-axis means it's with respect to dy. So I need to write x. This is y square root is equal to x. And this is in terms of x, so it's fine. So x is equal to square root y. X is equal to square root y. And this is x is equal to y square. These are the two functions. The outermost, outer minus inner, right? So I'll have to write square root y the whole square minus y square already, and then the whole square. Now just put that in the calculator, you should get the answer. See, getting this equation, this is the most important thing. You will have marks for each of these terms. So you might have 1, 2, 3, 4. So getting the limits is very important. These will have marks. Writing these two terms, then getting the answer. integral. Now here we have square root, but we can't write y, we have to write it as x itself. Press next, close the bracket, square it up, minus y square. Let's close the bracket, open the bracket and close the bracket. And now square it up. It goes from 0 to 1. The answer is 3 by 10, but that means it's 3 pi by 10. So v is equal to pi times 3 by 10. That is equal to 3 pi by 10. Or you can directly write 3 pi by 10. So this is how we solve this problem. Let's check the answers. Yes, that's it. And what if it's along x is equal to 1? Same question, but over here they have told x is equal to 1. This is the point. It's not along the y-axis anymore. It's along this point. Now here, everything will remain same, but there is some little changes. Let me tell you in a minute. But before that, let me write this equation first. X is equal to square root y, and x is equal. Why I'm writing this? Because again, even it's along x is equal to y, it will remain dy. Volume will be pi and everything, and it's dy itself, isn't it? And what about this? X is equal to y squared. So now from here, this point, how much is the distance to this line? See, from this to this line, outermost radius. Outer radius, it is not 1, but it's not just this equation, it's the outer radius 1. See, the distance is 1, isn't it? And then it's coming in. 1 minus 1 square. That is what is the outer radius. But what about inner radius? Inner radius is also 1. See, that's the same thing. 1, but minus the square root y. Look carefully. This much is the outer radius, and then it's coming in. So inside. So minus y squared. And here also the same thing. It's coming inside only, right? It's not, if it was going out, then we have to plus. If it was going out, plus y squared. But here both are minus and minus. One is y squared, one is root y. So here the formula would be 0 to 1, the limits, the same just like the previous part, that is part A. We got 0 and 1. Now here we'll have 1 minus y squared the whole square minus 1 minus square root y the whole square. And what next? So you just put in the calculator. You can do a few steps because it's writing exam. I'll directly do it in the calculator only over here. It'll be 1 minus no y, so we use y squared, close the bracket, and then again square it up, minus, close the bracket, 1 minus square root x, close the bracket, square it up, and over here we are getting 0 and going to 1. So the answer is, will we get in fraction? It's taking a bit time. Don't worry, even if it takes, just leave it like that, and you will get the it might take 30 seconds. Just give it some time. So it's 0.3667, and if you multiply by pi, you'll get the final answer. There is one thing I want to just show you. Let me just write it out over here. V is equal to pi into 0.36667. Whenever it's recurring like this, if you write the answer, okay, it's not working, but you write it by yourself, 0.3. If you write a lot of sixes, you automatically get 11 by 30. So it's 11 by 30 pi. Or you multiply this 0.366 times pi, you get 11 by 30 pi, or the answer is 1.51. Both are correct. V is equal to 1.52, or you can write it as 11 pi by 30. But it just takes more time, like doing this. And also you can just leave it over here or even write this. It's up to you. The answer has to be either one of this. You can see here it's 11 pi by 30. So the next problem here, we have e to the power x. This is an interesting problem. Why? Because in the terms of e to the power x, we don't start from 0. You shouldn't remember e to the power x graph. It's exponential growth. It'll come like this and then it'll go like that, right? So this is important. It'll be 1 year. I hope this is clear. Now then, if it's 1, then what about this upper line? Let's see what is given to us. It's y is 0, okay? Y is 0. That is this line. Let's just see what is known. X is 0 and x is 2. Okay. So these are few things. How can we find this point and this point? They have told along y-axis. That means in the formula, it'll be some limits. It'll be with respect to, not like this, you should write x is equal to and with respect to dy. So here the limit will start from 1. The lower limit will be 1. Why? Because exponential function, it's from here, not from below. So from here, and it's along the y-axis. So this is the axis we are rotating. How do we find this point? And how do we know it is 1 exactly? So what is this point along x-axis? It's 0 and this is 2. They have clearly told x is 0 and 2. So I'll show you in calculator these values. Look here, shift e to the power, x value is 0. So what is the answer? It's 1. And now what about e to the power 2? That is for x is equal to 2. What will be this value? It will be 7.39. But let's take it as e to the power itself. Why? Because you'll get more accurate answer. So this is e to the power 2. Why? Because x is 2. Function is ex. Now one very important thing. Y is e to the power x, but I cannot write y. I need to write x is equal to whatever I get after I rearrange it. How do we solve this up? It's exponential and natural logarithmic functions. So let's solve it by multiplying natural log on both the sides. It'll be ln y is equal to ln e to the power x. This cancels. You'll have ln y is equal to x. So this is basically x is equal to ln y. Now here it's 1 to what? E to the power 2. Now what are the what do we have to integrate with? See, this is from the axis. It's not from other point. It's not outer radius, inner radius. It is just that which is the outermost line. It is 2 square minus the inner line, right side, right equation minus left equation, isn't it? That is ln y the whole square dy. That's it. You just have to put this in the calculator and you'll get the answer. Here let us use integral 2 square minus, open the bracket, natural logarithm, x, close the bracket again, and then square it up. It's 1 to e to the power 2, and the answer is 12.778. Okay, I forgot to write pi. It'll be pi times 12.778, and that will be multiplied by pi. This answer itself, you can just write multiplied by pi, that is shift and this symbol here. It's 40.14. That is the volume. V is equal to now, V is equal to 40.14. Now you can check the values. Here, let's solve this up and check. It should be 2 pi e squared minus 1, close the bracket. It is 40.14 itself. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Similarly, we can solve this one as well. Now I will use the graph which is given to us. Here y is equal to minus 2 somewhere down, and okay, it's minus 2. It'll be over here itself. This one, this line, and then this is the rotation. That's how it's rotated. Now here it's along y, it's not along the y-axis, it's a different thing. The formula will be in terms of dx now. Let me show you here, let me write it out. Integral, the answer will be in terms of dx. So I have to use this equation itself. So what is this equation? E to the power x. But the issue is we are away from the axes. So this is the extra part, it's 2 extra. So what is the first equation? From minus 2 till over here, and then this equation, right? So the outer radius will be 2 plus e to the power x. That's it, because we are 2 away. It's not from the axis. If it was from the axis, we directly take e to the power x, but we are away from it. That's the outer. What is the inner? We have to just remove this hollow space, right? This hollow space, that's 2. 2 is the hollow space. So let's write here pi, outer equation is 2 plus e to the power x, the whole square minus 2 square dx. And now we just put that in the calculator and we'll solve it. I'll put it all entirely together. So here we have pi, I'll write pi as well, then integral, open the bracket, 2 plus e to the power x, and then close the bracket and square it up, and then we have here, okay, what are the limits? Now the limits are not 1 to anything. It is this one. It's along the x-axis. Now we are not bothering about 1 and anything. It's the entire thing from 0 to 2. The limit is from 0 to 2. So therefore we just have to worry about this equation. All this is required. And until wait, see over here, it's clearly mentioned. See, this is the part. This is the rotation which we want. This, this, and this. See, this much will be rotated down like this. It'll come a little up, then it'll go down, and this is the straight line. So we need all this, but okay, no, it'll come down. Okay, it's not over here. This entire thing will be translated down exactly. It'll come like this something. So this region is not required. That two regions, see, this two region must be deleted. Therefore, we write this -2. Now, I said that, but I forgot to write -2 here. So let me write it out. Here, this much -2 square. So the answer is 164.48, you can tell. So the volume is 164.48. Now you can do one thing if you want to write in terms of pi. So after doing that, just remove that thing. So here we'll get V is equal to pi times 52.355. So this is how we can also do it. And here we go. The answer is, okay, now let's try and check the answer. We should get 164.48 pi multiplied with e to the power 4 divided by 2 plus we have 4e raised to 2 minus 9 by 2 is 4.5. You can write 9 by 2 as well. It's 164.479. That is 48. And here we have one more with regards to secant x. Now the thing is, how many of you remember secant x graph? I'm sure many of you don't. If you recall, secant x has some conditions. It's only from minus pi by 2 to pi, I guess. Let me check the graph. Okay, yeah, it's minus 1 point. Yeah, it'll be minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And it does not come more than 1. It's always like this. But at the left side, you will have, so like this, so that's the graph. Now here they have given us the limits, and along y is equal to 2. So y is 2 is this line. Along this line we are rotating it. Now so we need the limits along the x-axis, right? What are the limits? See, it's pi by 4. So this is the one, minus pi by 4 and pi by 4. So when we use the integral, volume is equal to pi integral, it's easy, minus pi by 4 and pi by 4. So that's given. And what else? Now you need to see, this is the axis. What is the rotation exactly? What is the outer radius? What is the inner radius? See here, from this line, y is equal to 2. What is the axis? See, this entire thing has to be rotated, right? See, how much is it? It's 2. So r outer is 2. That's easy to get. What about the inner radius? Inner radius is ri. It'll be 2. Then this is inside. It's cutting in, right? 2 minus secant x. That's it. So let me write it out. It's going to be 2 squared minus, again, 2 minus secant x, the whole square. That entire thing dx. I hope you're getting a hang of this. Don't think, okay, this is a unique problem. No, nothing like that. What are the regions they bounded by? Y is equal to 0. See, from here, y is 0. These are the two, pi by 4, minus pi by 4 and pi by 4. And this is the region. So this is being rotated. See this part, right? Is being rotated like that along this axis. So it will come over here somewhere. So that is the region, the volume we need to solve for. Now then, this is along dx, and we'll just put that in the calculator. The thing is, how will you put secant x? We don't have secant x in the calculator. See this here, 2 square minus, open the bracket, 2 minus, secant x is 1 by cosine x. So it's not shift, it's just cosine alpha x, close the bracket, and then we will close the bracket again, and then square it up. This entire thing will be squared. And what are the limits? It's negative pi by 4. So it's pi by 4 And here we have pi by 4 as well. Now, please don't use degree mode. Now, this is in degree mode. If you can see here, it's D, shift mode 4. Now you'll get the correct answer. Okay, something is wrong. Uh, okay, what is the mistake? Okay, I've opened the bracket, but I've not closed it. So I'll just not, because it's 2 only, right? So no need of this bracket. Okay, now it should be all good. Yeah, it's only one bracket that's closed. The answer is 5.05. Okay, now what I'll do is first I'll write pi here multiplied with this. The final answer is 15.868. 15.868. Above you can write pi times, just remove that pi now, 5.05. 5.051. That's it. So this is the volume for this particular function. I hope that's clear. You can see, okay, it's a numerical value itself because it's tan and all. It's very difficult to get in terms of pi. It'll be numerical. What about this along the x-axis? Again, the same graph, but it's just that we are rotating it along x-axis only. Now, if this is the case, see this. I'll just highlight the region. This one, it's going down like this, okay? That is the volume we are finding. Are we having any outer radius and inner radius? No. Do we have to do 2 minus? No, because we are literally doing along the axis. So this is the region. It'll be rotated just below like this. So you can easily do, or easily just use that secant x. That's it. Along the x-axis, this is the limit, minus pi by 4 and pi by 4. Let me show it. Pi times minus pi by 4 to pi by 4. And here, it is just secant x the whole square dx because there is nothing to remove here. That's it. Just put that in the calculator, you'll get the answer. Now it's good that we have not removed anything. If we are cleared, we have to type everything again. So I'll just remove this. Secant x the whole square is 1 by cosine x the whole square. So here, that's it. Answer is 2. So pi times 2, it will be 2 pi. So it will be pi times 2. It's 2 pi. That should be the answer. Let's just double check the answer. Yes. I hope this is clear. If it's along the axes, even if it's y-axis or x-axis, it's very easy and simple. But this one, since it belongs both the side, they'll just give you along x-axis like this, along the horizontal line only. Now, what about this one? It looks a little bit scary, right? But still, you know, it's a square root function. Only the thing is the values are very hard to find. Say, for example, I know this is something like this, but it's just not 1, 2, 3. It's not easy values. It's complicated values because it's a rational function within a square root function. So for this, you need to have graph. But even without graph, you can, you know, guesstimate the values and try. You can use the table mode 7 method also. But instead of that, what I'll do is I'll just use this graph. It's much handy. What is the value you need to consider over here? At about x is equal to 1. See, this is the line. Can you see the red line over here? Till there. So till there we need to consider. Now that's a very crooked line. Now basically you're rotating it along x-axis. See, along this axis. Now this much is rotated along the x-axis. So it's just going down like this. So it's very simple. Why? Because there is nothing to remove or add. It's literally the entire thing, isn't it? Just like the last problem. So here the formula will be, what is it along the x-axis? 0 to 1. So the limit is 0 to 1. The entire thing, x by x squared plus 2, the whole square dx. This is it. So these are very simple when it's on axes. So here we use this integral symbol. Open the bracket. It's square root fraction x divided by x squared plus 2. Close the bracket. Go see, you need to, after this, if you press right, it's still inside the square root. Again, you need to press right and then close the bracket and square it up. The limits are 0 to 1. Here we go. The answer is so much, but I'll write it as pi times. Okay. So that's the final answer. It should be V is equal to 0.6369. Another easy problem. Now 0.637, why? Because 69 is 67. That's the exact value. What about y is equal to 3 again? Let's look into the graph. Here we have y equals 3. That is somewhere down. Okay, somewhere up. Somewhere over here it's being rotated. Now you have to do outer radius and inner radius. What's the outermost radius? It's 3. RO is equal to 3. What is the inner radius? It's same thing. 3 minus the equation. That is square root x by x square plus 2. Why? Because from here to the outermost it is 3 itself. But then you're subtracting whatever it's coming in. Because it's along this particular line, that is at y is equal to 3 here. Now I'm just going to write the formula. It's pi times 0 to 1. And now the outer radius 3 squared minus 3 minus square root x by x squared plus 2 the whole squared dx. Now I just put that in the calculator. It's very simple to put in the calculator, right? But you need to understand, this is the most important thing. See the limits, the outer radius, the inner radius. And then what we do is just do this. And if you want, you can also follow this, but use some dummy values, like dummy steps, and then write the final answer. Okay, I've missed something. I've opened a bracket here for no reason. So it's taking a bit longer. The final answer must be 7.47. So here you can see they have done integration and then apply the limit as well, but the answer is the same. Or what you can do is, instead of this 7.47, you can write it in terms of pi as well. Whatever the answer you get, it'll be something like 2.3 or something. Just divide this by pi, you'll get the answer. It's better to divide rather than remove that and do the integral. Anyways, you can write this pi times 2.378 and then the final answer as 7.47. It's the same thing. Now we have again an exponential and x is equal to y is equal to x squared. Now here as well, the graph is a little bit tricky, isn't it? Because we have this parabola with exponential. See, if you know about graphing, then you realize this graph comes like this. It varies, but it comes something like that. Let's just look at the graph. This is a simple parabola, but look at this. It comes like a wave. So here we are rotating along what? Along the x-axis, along this axis. This is the rotation. Now it's not outer radius minus inner radius, it's just the outer equation minus the inner equation, because we're dealing with the axes, right? So here we need to write v is equal to pi integral, but what are these values? Okay, this is very important. These intersecting points can be found by equating y is equal to y, that is e to the power minus x squared is equal to x squared. Now, there are some approximation methods to find this, table methods and all, but the easiest is the calculator method. Let's type this out. It's shift and e to the power minus x squared equals x squared. Okay, it's x squared. I don't know what did I type. Equals is alpha and equal to, and over here you press alpha x squared. Shift and solve. Equal to won't give you the answer, and that's the answer. It's 0.753. Now, here you can write x is 0.753, x is equal to 0.753, but it's plus or minus because it's squared, right? You will have positive and negative. So it's, it's symmetrical, both the sides. So pi over here, it's minus 0.753. Here it's plus 0.753. And then it's very simple. The outermost equation from the x-axis, what is it? It is the e power minus x squared. And here what is this? It's parabola x squared. So it's e power minus x squared the whole square minus x squared the whole square dx. That's it. Now you put this in the calculator, you will get the answer. So integral of e to the power minus x squared, close the bracket, and then square it up, minus x squared. You need to use a bracket over here, or you can write power 4 if you are confident with it. X squared whole square will be x power 4 directly. You can write it. and this is it's minus 0.753, and over here also it's 0.753. That is it. You will get 0.99, but this is with pi multiplied by 0.99, but multiply pi will be less than 3.14. It's 3.1131. This is the final answer. As you can see, it's 3.113. Similarly, we'll move the next one. Here you can see again the same equations, but they have told -1. Let's see the graph. See, this is 1, positive 1. It's -1 somewhere down along that axis. So now there's outer radius. From here, what is the outermost radius? We don't take that equation directly. What is this distance first? Distance is 1 plus the outer equation. What is that outer equation? 1 plus e minus x squared. That is our outer. What is our inner? So that will be, now here, you're going to add both the equations. See, this much, and then you're adding this equation, right? And even the inner equation, so much, and then you add this parabola because it's going away from it. If it was coming inside like this, then you do minus, right? But no, this much plus the outer equation, this much plus the outer equation, both the inner equation, sorry. So it'll be 1 plus x squared, that's it. So we will do the formula. It is v is equal to pi integral. Now I hope you remember it was 0.753. Yeah, 753. 0.753. How I remember is it's 753. That's how I remember. But anyways, let's just check it, double check it, because when I was typing, I saw it was 753. Yes, it was 753 itself. So yeah, just erase it. And what we have here is outer equation, that is 1 plus e to the power minus x squared the whole square minus the inner equation 1 plus x squared the whole square dx. And just put that in the calculator and that will be the answer. Here I'm just going to edit this. So I'll write 1 plus, then the same thing, squared minus 1 plus, it's not along the axis, so that's why the additional distance. The answer is 9.266. That's it. And now we have a problem where they have given us the graph. So I hope in the exam as well, they give you the graph. It'll be easier to understand. The equation y is equal to 4 minus 2x. That's the equation. And it is revolving. And the axis, y and x axis, they have told it's bounded by what the axis is. This and this, the x and y axis. It's already there here. We need to revolve it along y axis. So it's going to come something like that. So that's it. Here there is no two equations. It's only one equation. Why? Because it's along the axis itself. So how is it going to be? It will be, okay, first of all, it's not this one. You should change this, right? Because you should have with respect to y. That means x will be equal to, it will be 2x is equal to, take it to the other side, 4 minus y. X will be equal to 4 minus y by 2. So this is the x value, or you can simplify it further. What I'll do is 4 by 2 is 2 minus y by 2. So you can write it like that. Okay. Now that is the equation. So it is pi integral. What is the limits here? This is very important. The limits will be along the y-axis. This one, 0 to 4 only. 0 to 4. So 0 to 4. The equation is 2 minus y by 2 the whole square dy, because it's along the y-axis. Now put that in the calculator, you should get the final answer. Integral 2 minus y divided by 2. We don't have y, so we use x squared. Here it is 0 and it goes until 4. 16 by 3, but don't forget the pi, it should be 16 pi by 3. Yes, there we go. What if it's along the x-axis? The same thing. Now here rotates along the x-axis. That's fine because this left side is not there. So this is not there, but it'll be like this. Now again, it's a single equation itself, but take this original equation. For b here, it should be pi. Now what is the limit? It's 0 to 2. 0 to 2. pi is already there, 0 to 2, and we have 4 minus 2x the whole square dx. This is the equation. We can't change this. Let's write it anew. Sorry. Integral 4 minus 2x, close the bracket and square it up, and it's from 0 to 2. And here we go, it's 32 by 3 pi. It should be 32 by 3 pi, or 32 pi by 3. What if it's y is equal to 4? Same thing. Here, y is equal to 4 means this line. Now there will be outer radius and inner radius. What's the outer radius? From here to here, it's 4. RO is equal to 4. Inner radius here, 4 minus the thing, right? Ri will be 4 minus this equation. 4 minus 2x. I'll write it properly. Outer radius RO will be 4. Inner radius Ri will be 4 minus the given function 4 minus 2x. But what if we simplify this? It'll be 4 minus multiplied both the terms. It'll be minus 4 plus 2x. 4 minus 4 is 0. Just write 2x. Positive 2x will be the answer. So let me use the rule now. For the C, it'll be pi integral 0. Again, it's along the x-axis, the limits. It's 0 to 2. And 4 squared, that is the outer radius, minus the inner radius is just 2x. I'm not going to write 4 minus. It'll be 2x the whole square dx. Now we put that in the calculator and we should get the answer. So again over here we can little readjust and write. So it's 4 squared minus 2x the whole square. It should be 64 pi by 3. 64 pi by 3, that's the correct answer. What about the D? It's minus 4. So instead of this above 1, y is equal to minus 4. That means we go down over here. Minus 4, y is equal to minus 4. And here, see, this much hollow space is created. Even over here below also hollow space. And then you will have something like this. Okay, that's revolved. So there's a hollow in the middle and that must be removed. So again, we need outer and inner radius. So the outer radius over here, what would be the outer radius? Since this is exactly, now inner radius is easy. Look at from minus 4 to over here, the axis, x-axis, you can see that is a flat line. So basically the inner radius, Ri, is a flat line. That's 4 distance. That's it. This is 0, isn't it? That's 4. So minus 4 to 4, it's inner radius. That's it, 4. But let's look at the outer radius. From here to here, how much is that? 4 plus 4 is 8. Outer radius is 8. But then this equation is coming in, isn't it? So what we have to do is 8 minus the equation, that is 4 minus 2x. So let's simplify this. It'll be 8 minus 4 plus 2x. Plus 2x. So it's going to be 4 plus 2x. That is the inner radius. Now there's one more way to write this. See, this is, let's try both. Okay, so option D would be from here to here, it is 0 to, now it's along the x-axis, 0 to 2 itself. And then we have outer radius of 4 plus 2x minus 4 square, both are squared, dx. Or, so what we can do is, see here, this is the given equation, right? That is 4 minus 2x. We know this inner radius will not change, it is 4 itself. But what about the outer radius? RO can be written as 4 plus this equation because it's going upwards, right? This much is for sure 4. And then add this equation up. What is the equation? 4 minus 2x. So what will be the answer? It will be 4 plus 4 is 8 minus 2x. So even if I try that out, it should give me the correct answer. Same answer. Let's write 2 minus 2x the whole, 8 minus 2x the whole square minus 4x, 4 square dx. Let's try both of this. See, whether you take 8, total 8, and then minus the equation, or you take this 4 and then add the equation, you should get the same thing as long as you're following the correct rules. So let me do it over here. Integral, first equation was 4 plus 2x close the bracket and square it up. Minus 4 square, that's the inner radius. And the limits are 0 to 2. What is the answer? It's 128 by 3. That will be 128 pi by 3. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Now here we must get the same answer even for the second one. Let's just rearrange this one. Here it is 8 minus 2x and everything else is the same. Is it correct? Yes, 128 by 3 pi. So this is how you can easily see that whichever method whichever values you write, as long as you follow these rules, you must get the correct answer. I hope that's clear. That's it. Okay, there's still more. Let me clear it out. At x is equal to 2, that is this line here. Now it's along dy integral. It'll be with respect to x, that is dy. You should rearrange this and write x is equal to, it'll be 2x is equal to 4 minus y, and x is equal to 4 minus y by 2, or you can write x is equal to 2 minus y by 2. That's up to you. Now then, if you're doing this, what's the outer radius? So outer radius over here would be just 2, isn't it? Because from here to here it's 2. So let us write 2 as the outer radius. Let me write over here RO is 2. What is the inner radius? Inner radius 2 minus this equation. Inner radius is 2 minus the equation. What is that equation? Don't write this equation. You have to write in terms of y. So it'll be 2 minus y by 2. So let's multiply this minus sign both sides. 2 minus 2 plus y by 2, that is equal to y by 2 itself. So it is minus y by 2 the whole square. What is the limits? It's 0 to 4. So that must give us the correct answer. Here we have integral from 2 square minus y, that is written as x by 2 the whole square, and the limit is from 0 to 4. And the answer is 32 by 3 pi, and we can check the answer. It is 32 by 3 pi. Now what if you have written like this itself? See, 2 minus. Before I was writing it like that, doesn't matter. You can write this entirely. 2 minus, see the inner radius is 2. 2 is total. Minus this equation. Minus, but you need to add another bracket. 2 minus y by 2 the whole square, and close the bracket, and then the whole bracket, and then square it up. The answer must be the same. See, it's the same answer. And f over here asks us minus 2. So minus 2 is somewhere over here, right? From here now. From here, just like a couple of problems ago we did, I think so it was D. There are various ways to solve it. I will just stick to the simple one. From here to here, how much is it? 2. So R inner radius is 2. R outer radius can be written 2 plus the equation. What was the equation? That was, we had simplified and written it as 2 minus y by 2. So this is it. If you have written so much, if you have simplified or not simplified, whatever you have, just write it out. In the calculator we're going to put it, and let me write it in terms of 0, 4 integral. Pi is always there. What is the outer radius? First we write the outer radius. That will be 2 plus 2. I can write 4 minus y by 2, or your choice. You can write this entire thing, the whole square. Then minus 2 square, it's with respect to y, dy. Put it in the calculator now. The limits are same. I'm just going to rearrange it over here. So it is 4 here. That is going to be 4 minus y, and I'll remove one bracket. That's done. And this entirely will go off because this is the first term. First term is done. Now minus 2 square. This is the outer radius minus the inner radius is, it's not 4, it's 2 square. Or you can write 4 directly. 2 square is 4. 64 by 3 pi. Now 64 pi by 3, or you can write pi separately. And wait a minute, there's some error over here. It shows, let's just double check this. Let me just check my values. It's 2 plus this equation I have done. And yes, this was the rewritten form. And inner radius, no, this must be correct. This is correct. It's from here the distance is 2. Yeah, let's see what they have done over here. Is it correct? Let us do integral. Is this let us check this. So they have written 8 minus y. The reason being, they've rewritten this as 2x is equal to 4 plus y, sorry, minus y, and then x is equal to 4 minus y by 2. So this is what they have done. And then what they have done is basically uh, they have added the 2 here because the outer radius is correct 2 from here to here. The inner radius is 2. The outer radius will be 2 plus this equation, isn't it? 2 plus 4 minus y by 2. Let's do this. Here you can multiply 2 and 2 will be 4 by 2. 4 by yeah, 4 by 2, because you multiply and divide by 2, plus 4 minus y by 2, and here then we will have 2. 4 plus 4 is 8 minus y. Yeah, that should be correct. So let's try it in the calculator now. So it should be integral. First one, it's this one, 8 minus x. Okay, I should write fraction 8 minus x and close the bracket and square it up, minus 2 square, and it is from 0 to 4. Let me write out pi here. The answer is 64 by 3. This is correct. The starting one, what they have written is correct, but the solving is wrong. The answer is wrong. This is the correct answer, 64 by 3 pi. I hope this is clear. That is what we had got initially when I had written the steps and done it. Here, even if you take it differently by fractions, the answer will remain same. Doesn't matter what. Now we have another problem. They have given us the region bounded by y is equal to x square and y is equal to 4. So it's a parabola and at 4. So let's use the figure over here. It's a simple figure. Parabola and 4, you have a linear line. And now they are asking us the solid formed by revolving r along y is equal to 4. So along this line itself, you're rotating it. So what's going to happen? So this is where you're rotating it. So it's going to be from here to here. Now this is having outer and inner radius. Why? Because this is not on the axis, isn't it? So what will be the outer radius? Outer radius is total 4, right? Minus this equation. So let's do, so you can ignore the outer and inner radius, because outer radius will be total 4 from here minus this given equation. What is that equation? It is x squared. Why? Because it's y is equal to 4. It's along with respect to x. Here the formula, you'll have dx. So that is the outer radius. What's the inner radius? Inner radius is 0, because this line, right? There's nothing. So I'll just have to write this one. So it'll be pi. What are the points of intersection? How do you get that? That is by solving this. Y is equal to y, that is x squared is equal to 4. Take the square root on both the sides. X is equal to plus or minus 2. Or you can use mod 53 in calculator. That'll bring this 4 to inside. It'll be x squared plus 0x minus 4. But it's very simple, square root, right? Remember, when you take square root, you will have two values. It's minus 2 and plus 2. And then you have the outer radius, that is 4 minus x the wholes. It's x squared here, that the whole square. And it is minus 0 squared. That doesn't matter, ignore that. You don't need to write it as well. So outer radius was this, and let's use the calculator and solve. Here it is integral 4 minus x squared, close the bracket and square it up. I hope that's clear. It's x squared and then another square outside. And let me write 0 squared as well, but that's just gone. Over here the value upper limit is 2, lower limit is minus 2, so the answer is 512 pi by 15, because you have to multiply by pi as well. So here we go. Now what if it's along the y-axis? So again, the same graph. Let's do this quickly as well. Okay, that's by mistakenly shown. Now y-axis is this line. It's along this axis. So here when you look at it, you're rotating along this axis. But what is the graph formed? It's not x squared. We have to write it in terms of y. X is equal to square root y, because you should take square root on both the sides, right? X is equal to square root y. So along the axis, the limits will be 0 to 4, and it's along the axis, it's only one term. It will be square root y squared dy. This is it. And pi is there. Now I will write the next, well, let's go to the next, no, let's solve it up because it's each page has one question. Let me solve this. So let me write pi integral. It is square root x and then square that up. Because it's a single term, I didn't write the brackets, but it's better to put the brackets. And 4, this is it. It's 8 pi. What happens here? These are all simple problems. Again, y is equal to 6. That means above over here. Now it will be outer radius and inner radius. From 6 till here, outer radius will be 6, but it's coming in. So 6 minus x squared. That's the outer radius. What about the inner radius? Inner radius is just until over here to here. It is 2. Ri is 2. Why? Because we are dealing from 6 here, right? This is 6. From here to this is the flat line. This entire thing is the solid in consideration, right? So this is only 2. So what we do is limits. Now which limits are we considering? It's along the x, it'll be minus 2 and plus 2. So it's minus 2 to plus 2. And here we have 6 minus x squared, the whole square, minus 2 squared dx. This entire thing. Now let's put that in the calculator and check. Here we will have 6 minus x squared, the whole squared, minus 2 squared. And here we have minus 2 to the top 2. It should be 384 pi phi, yes. What if it's minus 2 now? Here we have, again, minus 2, that's somewhere over here, and that's being rotated. What will be the outer radius? RO will be from here till this point, and then we can, oh sorry, now first, outer radius is a flat line here, right? See, it's a flat line. My lines are going crooked. It's been a long video, so exhausted now. From here to here, it's gonna be 6. What about the inner radius? Inner radius, see, from here to here, it's all flat. 2 plus, what is that? X squared. That's it. So your answer must be minus 2 to 2. It'll be outer radius is 6 squared minus 2 plus x squared, and that's it. See here. This is the outermost line. From there, when you see, it's a flat line. So yes, outer radius is that much only. The flat line over here, it is 2. Till over here, that's the extension. From the axis, it's going in. So till the axis, it is 2 plus this equation. That's why we do it. Now, we can easily solve it in the calculator. Here we will just change what is this. The first one is 6 squared. And over here it is 2 plus x squared, then the whole square. And the limits are from minus 2 to 2. So the answer is 1408 pi divided by 15. What about if it's x is equal to 2? And here we have the line, that's this one. Now from here, what is the limits? It is 0 to 4 because it's along the y. With respect to y, it will be dy. What are the outer radius? From here, see now, look at this. This is a part, it is x is equal to square root y, right? This is 1 square root y and this is 1 square root y. If you see square root x, it's like this. So here you need to be a little careful. So much we know is 2, okay? So for the outer radius, all you need to do is 2 plus this extra part. So outer radius, RO, is 2 plus extra part, that's square root y. For inner radius, all you need to do is 2 minus the square root y. Why? Because it's coming inside. So it is 2 plus square root y, because from here it's to the axis it's 0, but it's extra, right? That's plus square root y. Minus 2 minus square root y the whole square. Why? Because this is coming inside. And the limits are from 0 to 4. So let's put that in the calculator. Let's write it out. It is 2 plus square root y. Now go next and close the bracket and then square it up, minus 2 minus square root x, close the bracket and square it up. And here we go, it is 0 to 4. And the answer is, let's see the answer, it should be 128 pi by 3. It's taking quite a bit time. Okay, here we go. That's the correct answer. We have to multiply this by pi. And the final and the last question here. Now they have told along y is equal to minus 4. So, sorry, x is equal to minus 4. I can't even read properly now. This is the line. It's rotating like this. So let's count what is the radius. See, over here again, from here to here, it is how much? It's not minus 2, it's minus 4. So it is 4. Distance is 4, right? So the outer radius RO will be 4 plus add the square root y. Inner radius minus the square root y, just like the previous one. Here we have 0 to 4, pi is outside. 4 plus square root y, this is square root y. The whole square minus 4 minus square root y, 4 minus square root y the whole square dy. So that's it. You put that in the calculator. Since I've been recording it as a straight video, I'm just now not able to focus. I'm zoning out. Anyways, here we have to just change this to 4. And then we have over here 4. And that must give us the answer. It should be 256 by 3 pi. It's taking a while now because we have the square root functions, right? So that's why it takes a while for computing the square roots. And here we go, it's 256 by 3 pi. And that is the end of this lengthy question. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, please consider rewatching the video or posting your doubts in the comments. I hope you all will head on to the next video.